Two guys talking about the good old days. Half of it's truth, the rest's a haze. If it bombed back then, it kills right now. Yeah, memories funny like that somehow. Names get dropped, stories grow tall. Every set was a murder, no bombs at all. It's stand-up memories, take it as you please. Where the past gets better with every tell and tease. Welcome to Stand-Up Memories.
Yes, stand-up memories. Peter Bales here with Jackie the Joke Man Martling.
You thought I was going to jump the gun.
I did.
And I did not.
I waited and you didn't.
I faked you out.
We have a terrific guest.
There you go again.
I say it every week, but
you
it's
know,
true.
we should have the front should be taped. That's Jackie. I'm Peter. We have the world's best guest ever. We never had a guest so good as this.
This is a true stand-up memory. I go way back with this guy. He is funny, and let me introduce him, okay?
And a good friend and a nice guy.
And a good friend and a nice guy. That's true.
Yeah. Well, why would I lie?
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to Stand-Up Memories, the one, the only, Vinnie Mark.
Woo!
Vinnie Mark is here. There he is.
How you doing?
There he is.
I made it.
In all these years, I have never asked, is Mark your real last name or did you change it for show business?
Actually, it was changed. It was no, Markowski is my real last name, half Italian, half Polish.
Oh, I would have changed it too.
We know that.
I would
Right. So the original club owner, or one of the original, Richard M. Dixon, who had a club in Massapequa when I was doing shows there with you guys, but he said to me, comes over to me after the first show, "Your name's too long, Markowski, too long. We need something. We got Vinnie Mark. Bada boom. Bada boom."
Wow.
And that's what he did. He gave me the name. Yeah.
Dixon's one great contribution.
It's to show business.
He actually did so much for us all, and all we do is goof on the guy.
Richard M. Dixon had a club on Long Island. A lot of the Long Island guys started there, and he was a remarkable guy, famous for looking exactly like Richard Milhouse Nixon,
now,
the
probably
president.
comedians starting out have heard snippets about this, and most people have no idea. But this guy was named Richard M. Dixon, and he actually had a club called Richard M. Dixon's White House Inn. And he looked a little like Nixon to start.
And then he actually had
his face surgically
altered to look like Richard Nixon.
Yeah.
And
quite a choice.
If you guys, if you look this up, Google this. Richard Nixon had an enemies list. Okay.
Oh, really?
And Richard M. Dixon made the enemies list along with everybody super famous.
Now, was he mad because he looked better than him or looked worse than him?
But anyway, Vinnie Mark,
let's get back to Vinnie Mark.
Back to
so that's
Vinnie
how
Mark.
I got my name. That's how I got my name.
Well,
I never knew that. I love that.
Yeah,
Vinnie Mark.
Vinnie Mark. Wonderful.
And let's start at the beginning. Now,
Yeah.
I know Vinnie because we started together in an improv group called the Laughter Company. And I was trying to think about how you got involved with the Laughter Company. I was the director. You were there from the beginning.
Yes.
And you were terrific from the beginning.
Now, I have a question. That wasn't right out of the gate. The East Side Comedy Club didn't have the Laughter Company right away, right? It was a couple
pretty
years.
soon. I don't think it was pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And actually, it had
it's a great story,
people.
actually.
Go ahead, tell it.
Well, it's a great story. Bob Nelson, who's another Long Island, comedian, and obviously, he went to Nassau Community College in the theater department, which I was in at the time, but he was obviously in a different class 4 years later. And he knew the director, Sid Lee, very well, of the theater department. So he had called Sid and said, "Hey, we're putting together this improv group, Peter Bales, and we're going to start to we're looking for different, actors or whatever to work in this show. I want to have guys audition besides comedians." So Sid had said, "Come down and look at this kid." And it was me. He says he's in the show right now. I had the lead in a show called Same Time Next Year. It was a play. Yeah. And I remember it. Bob came down and saw the show, met me after the show very, very fast again. He said, "You took my number down." And he said, "We're going to have auditions next week for this thing." And that was it. I auditioned, and you know.
So this is before you were working at Dixon's, or after, or
You know what? It was. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, it was. I was working at Dixon's already because I was doing a lot of magic shows, kid shows. You know, I did the magic and stuff, and then I lived in Massapequa, so I had heard about it, and I went down there, and Dixon auditioned me or whatever, and I got on. I would do the Friday and Saturday nights. You know, it was I think it was.
Now,
yeah, I was at Dixon's first because Eastside came later. Yes.
and Vinny joins the Laughter Company, is a natural at improv, and I mean that quite sincerely. No, you know you are.
Yes.
And we're at the very beginning of a story about a guy who has now a long life as a master of improv, and we'll talk about your partner and the fact that you're out there working to this day all over the place, super successful.
Yes,
we'll talk about that, but we're talking about the beginning. And
the beginning, which you were involved
was
in.
Nancy in that?
Nancy,
my
your previous
ex-wife,
Sirianni?
No, Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, Dave Hawthorne.
What about Joan?
Joan St. Ange came on later.
Because I know Nancy was in one of those improv groups. Maybe later.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
But we did I say Jim Myers? We
yes.
had
he
Hal
was in
Spear
that too?
for a while. Remember Hal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We were based on, when I was directing it, it was based on the Second City model of using improv to create finished scenes, finished bit. And when I left, you guys,
in other words, you did improv to create finished bits, and then you use the finished bits as part of your show,
as part of a show. Yeah, one finished sketch and another, and then we would include improv in the show as well, along with the finished sketches. And then when I left, you became more on the improv side of things, and you haven't looked back since then. But let me go. So you were a children's magician, but you were funny at that, and then you became a comedian.
Right. Well,
for
thanks
adults.
to Bob Nelson. Bob helped me a lot with that because when I was in the group, he was like, "Hey, why don't you put together a little, take some of your stuff and do the, adult, the evening show. Comedy clubs are taking off, and I put some stuff together. He helped me, and
I have a question. If you're doing magician work for kids, are we talking about 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds?
Well, it wasn't just kid shows. It was private shows. I did like American Legion halls. When I was 14, I was doing Elks Lodges, Knights of Columbus halls. I'm getting $40 a show.
Which was fine.
Which
was
great.
Fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was, I was doing Dixon's for, what he was paying, the $5. Did I hit you? And then I would do, did I hit you? 2 shows Friday night. And then I would wake up early Saturday and I would have like 3 kid shows during the day and then go back to Dixon's doing 2 shows Saturday night. And then, wake up Sunday doing kid shows. And yeah, but it wasn't always only kid shows. It was sometimes, anniversary parties. But I was so young and I had another partner, a friend of mine that worked with me, Kenny, and we would do it together. So I think it was the novelty of, wow, look at these 2 15-year-olds, doing magic. And
so tell us about the.
Was it basically the same show for the 8-year-olds as for the Elks Lodge? Or
Jackie, it's so weird. We were like, I actually have videotapes of us doing block parties, and it was so horrible, of course. But it was just, it was basically, the same thing. We would, we had adult stuff at the time, was adult stuff, which was.
But you were having fun, so the audience was having fun.
We were having fun, and we thought we were Doug Henning. We had illusions eventually, and we were lugging all this stuff. I mean, we had a gig in New York City. I'll never forget it. No elevator in the building. We carried it up like 12 flights of stairs. To do this illusion that lasted 3 minutes, at the end.
So tell me about the transition to performing for adults. It was still the same you. It was still silly.
Yeah,
it was
silliness. Yes.
Silliness is, your act is silly in a great way.
Yes.
So Bob Nelson helped you transition to adult audiences.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah, he
told you do it. Just go ahead and do it.
He just said do it, and he watched me a little bit and said, and because I would basically do, I think I'm trying to remember what I would do in my adult private show in the comedy club, and and then he punched it up a little bit and fixed things, and yeah, it was fun.
But
I
is
remember.
go ahead.
No, I remember getting back to the Laughter Company, which you directed. There was a period where I remember Rosie and I, we were young. We were 18.
Yeah. now
I think Rosie put the hex on Vinny.
I think we have to do improv now. So
I remember there was a day. I don't remember anything.
well, what he's talking about, I'm sure he'll come back. What he's talking about is this improv group where we created scenes. And then there's
were there 10 of you? 8 of you?
Probably different people in and out, but 8 of us. Recently, we had Dave Hawthorne on our podcast, and we had Bob Nelson on our podcast. Man, I would love to get Rosie to share her. There you are.
He's back.
You know what we did when we lost you? We did some improv.
We were killing.
And we were
killing.
Funny,
we were killing.
I'm
talking.
I mentioned Rosie O'Donnell, and my camera falls off the thing.
Yeah. Now I have to ask you: were you guys ever an item?
Oh gosh, no. We were like brother and sister. We were the youngest. We were, and I'm being honest with you. I mean, I'll tell you this: we were we were young. We were new. You guys were all. There was all these comics that were when they were auditioning for it that were getting cut. Peter and I guess Bob were doing and you narrowed it down. And remember, Rosie and I were young. We were 18, so we filled the slot that they wanted. They wanted young types or whatever. I think that's what it was. And when we got casted in that group, now there was a lot of guys that weren't too nice to us, friendly to us. And I do remember.
You mean in the group or in the audience or in the clubs?
No, the guys that got cut. I won't mention names, but guys that didn't make it to the group. And you guys aren't funny. You're just in it because you're kids or whatever.
I got to ask you: any of the people that didn't make the cut, did they go on to be comics?
Well,
according to them, they're the best. Just ask them.
Yeah, but Vinny, you're being
we're all about gossip here,
Vinny.
Oh, okay.
You were great, and Rosie was great, and you were in the group because of your talent and how funny you were.
So feel free to look down on those other people and spit on them.
We weren't looking for young
No,
guys.
I know. I just we never forgot it though. We never forgot it because Peter, it's funny, just what you just said then. Because I was going to quit. You don't probably remember. We were sitting on the steps of the East Side Comedy Club after about 6 months, and it was just because it was just the guy saying the negative stuff. Because remember, I was more or less the straight man to the degree, setup guy in the show, and Bob and Dave and Rosie was loud. She was doing her thing, but I was just like, I don't even know if I belong. And Peter also told me, he said, no, you do belong. You're not quitting. I never forgot that actually.
And I never forgot it.
That's very nice of you.
I never forgot it.
We've been doing this 5 years, and finally somebody had something nice. I'm awestruck.
Do you remember that conversation?
Yes, I do. And you are a natural. Now let's so it's the Long Island Laughter Company, Rosie, Dave Hawthorne, Bob Nelson, Jim Myers, Hal Spear, others. We had so much fun.
Yes.
And you took improv and made it your life, literally. Other things in your life like golf. I don't know.
But you were doing stand-up, I thought.
He was also doing stand-up, yeah.
A little stand-up.
Like when you had the
club,
the club upstate, you were doing straight, magic stand-up, whatever you call it, as opposed to improv, no? Or
well, I didn't have it. Yeah, it wasn't improv. It was just myself and Jody were doing the shows first year.
Now, I wanted this moment in the podcast to mention somebody wonderful, and we're of course focusing on the great memories that so many people have of your wife Jody Weiner, who passed. And you used to perform with her. You performed together as stand-ups, and she was so funny. And a lot of people have these wonderful memories. And I thought I would toss it to you to maybe what's coming to your mind when I mention that. It's just true.
Yeah, she was great. She was, she was outstanding. She was. Well, I mean, she was one of the best. I mean, if she was around now, I mean, in her. Because she was, I thought, ahead of her time. I'll just give you the quick. She was on a show, TV show called. It was an all black audience, all black Mother Love, I think it was called. They had a comedy an entertainment, what is it called? Variety show contest, like a Star Search on the show. It was a television show, and all black judges, all musicians singing. Jody was the only white person, and she was a comedian on the show. She won the whole thing.
Ah.
And I remember the judges saying, you know, everybody was talented, everyone was great, but we got to say Jody made us laugh the hardest, and that was, I thought, like a really cool little. And then she went on. She got to do The View. She did 2 appearances on The View after that, and that was like her little, 15 minutes of fame. But she had tremendous impact. After the show, people would come up to her, want to talk to her, want to, meet her. And I wish she was around because she was considered bawdy and risque back then.
But not now. She wouldn't.
Now she would be. She's a children's performer.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
That's right. But to our audience, is there video of her online? Jody
Yes.
Weiner.
Yes.
Very, very funny lady, and
I always loved
wonderful.
coming up to work your club up there.
Yeah.
She was,
Yes.
you guys were always nice, and we'd go out and eat and laugh, and
Yes.
the whole deal.
It was great, and we're going to do it again. We're going to have you guys up.
That's
I'm
great.
still upstate. I don't have a club, but we have a lot of fun venues up here.
Now
But
you have your stand-up act, of course.
yes, solo. Yeah.
But now you have a partner, and you guys go all around the country doing an improv act. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, absolutely. I don't even know if you know this, but Scott Baker, who's a retired NYPD police officer, he tried being, I guess, a comic as a solo act, but he then eventually, he used to watch us basically when he was a cop. He used to come to see the Laughter Company at the East Side Comedy.
Wow.
So he knew the whole show and everything. And then eventually when he wasn't a cop anymore, wanted to be in, got the bug to go on stage or whatever. He basically, he told me he kind of took our show and reworked it a little bit with another guy and did like a 2-man version of it. If that makes any sense.
Yes.
And then, so when I met him, he came to one of the fundraisers for Jody that they were having when she was, starting to fail. And he came up to me, he says, "You don't know me, but I talked to you after the shows. You're always very nice." He says, I do like a version of your guys' show. Me and, Al do the show, but he's phasing out a little bit. We'd love to have you maybe work with us. But in a nutshell, I walked into the show that he used to watch 30 years ago, and they kind of redid it. So it's really weird. It's almost like the Laughter Company, but not. It's different. They changed it up. But
that's so interesting how it winds in and out and back in. That's
full
so great.
circle. Yeah, he rattled off scenes and sketches and lines that we used to say, Peter, that I was like, oh my God, Bob.
Oh my God.
Him and Bob Nelson went to a diner one night, and he was rattling off sketches, and we were like, we were looking at you, going, oh yeah, we've totally forgot about those bits,
So now you're a team, and how long did it take you to mesh?
Honestly, I'm going to tell you honestly, because I was going through, I wasn't mentally, and we talk 100% in because I had Jody, slowly.
Yes.
Terrible. So that was always on my mind. Very hard to, be on stage, and I had to drive, do the shows, come back. So once, she went home and went to heaven, and I kind of was like, that was lifted. So then I could be freer on stage, and then we really meshed. But he had a good structured show. I mean, it's a really good format, what they do. It's quick, it's easy, it's fun. People love it. It's really well received. I mean, we do family shows too.
Now, wait, when you say they, I thought it was just him and Scott.
It's just him and Scott. He's talking about the audience. The audience.
The
Audience.
audience. Yeah.
Oh.
We do family resorts. We do Woodlock Pines. We do where there's kids in the audience. So we have and we also do adult version of the show. It's kind of it's very adaptable to everything. It's really great, actually.
And there's something about audiences loving
being involved,
spontaneity, being involved, and
watching it happen.
It's a true improv show. All of these games, everything's off the cuff. It's amazing how they do it.
It is
and
fun.
it's just fun. That's the bottom. That's always been the case with you.
Exactly.
It's just fun. It's the silliest magic act you've. Who comes out and his opening bit is to hit somebody with a plastic hammer on the,
Right,
on the
exactly.
head.
And now, it's even funny. And now, I mean, I'll do a kids thing. I'll still, do if they hire me, I'm there. But you can't do anything to fool the kids today. You know why? Anything clever or really cool magic thing.
They know
They're on
everything.
their iPhones Googling how it's done.
That's not right. It's just
I know,
not right.
sucks. They're like,
Now,
he's got a, they yell it up. That's,
I got to tell you, I don't think I've ever seen Vinny on stage in an improv situation get thrown by anything.
Oh yeah.
But because you go anywhere and you are so great at sensing where a scene is going. But we have so much fun on this podcast asking people about their memories of things that went wrong with all of these improv shows you've done, and you're getting suggestions from the audience. Does anything come to mind where, oh my God, I can't believe that happened? You've done so many shows.
For Scott and I, you mean, or just?
Yeah, well, anything, but
I'm trying to think. No,
are you that much in control?
Well, it's a lot harder for things to really go wrong when you have another guy to commiserate with. So probably he's more or less asking, what about times when you're up there alone, when you really ate it, or whether it was your fault or not,
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure. I mean, there was one show which John Pesci, who's a comic from Jersey, booked me at a yacht club in Staten Island.
There you go.
My solo show. I was doing a lot of cruise ships, and this is weird. It's funny. When you do a cruise ship, you do a welcome aboard show, you do your main show, and you do a farewell show. So you have to have all different stuff. So Jody's line was, I needed a little more material for my farewell show. I only had to do like an 8-10 minute bit. So Jody goes, when I need 8 new minutes, I have to write it. Vinny opens up the magic catalog and buys a magic trick. So I bought this trick, which is I did just for the cruise ships. Now this is terrible timing, but this is the horror show that you want to hear. So I bought it. It was called Sidekick. The concept of the trick basically is you get a woman on stage. You may see she picks a card from a jumbo deck of cards. You put it on a table. She shows it to the audience, and it happens to be the 4 of clubs is the card. But she puts it in the deck. You put it on a table, this like magic table that has a vase, flowers in it, and you hand her a gun, and she steps back and she supposed to shoot the card out. And when she shoots it, the tablecloth goes flying out the first time. Then and she shoots it again. Boom, the flowers go flying out of the vase. Then she shoots it again, and the table topples over. And all the cards fall off, and there's one card stuck to it, and it's the 5 of clubs. So the audience is kind of applauding, but then they're like, oh, wait a minute, it was the 4 of clubs. And I take the gun and I shoot the center pip on the 5 off the card. That's the trick.
That's great. That's a great trick.
Yeah, great. $2,200 trick. Right?
Jesus Christ.
Wait, it gets worse, Jackie.
And wait, but that's $2,200 20 years ago?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how long ago it was, because I didn't have it very long. I couldn't do it very long. I did it like 3 cruises, and then unfortunately the disaster at Columbine happened.
So they don't want too much gunplay.
No gunplay. So that was pretty much out. But what I did was I put it in the closet, never used it. And then I got this country club, and it was like years later. So now I'm going back to Staten Island. I go, you know what? I'm going to just break it out and do it. Big ballroom packed, great show's going great. I decide to get this woman out of the, she was with a bunch of other women there. She comes up on stage. I get her to pick the card, blah, blah, blah. And then I hand her the gun, and she puts her hands up. No, drops to her knees, crying hysterical. And I'm like, what? And her friends come running up and pull her back to the table. It turns out her husband, 3 months ago, blew his brains out with a gun, and this was her first night out. And I hand her a gun.
I don't know why we're laughing, but
no.
What
are
the odds?
Story.
What are the odds?
Right, what are the odds? 300 fucking people, and I'm like, what? Hell?
That's
And
a
then the
great
maitre
story.
d' goes,
Now, are
just-
they a group that knows this, or are they all independent?
They're all country club, yacht club members. Yeah, they all knew it, but I didn't know it. How would I know? And the maitre d' goes, I just pack, because it was just a murmuring, and it was just, forget it. There was no recovering. And it was like, pack up your stuff and go.
So when you took out the gun, there was a collective.
Oh, yeah. Well, she just dropped. Like, no, she wouldn't even take it.
Oh
She
my
backed
God.
away, and then
come on, that's funny now, not at the time, but
No,
now
right,
that's
yeah.
hysterical.
I hate the fact that that's the exact story that we're looking for when we ask for these type stories. But it's
yeah,
horrible.
that's the horror. Yeah, where you
It's
asked for it.
horrible.
Yeah, and it was.
But stuff happens. I mean,
Right. And
stuff
I got
happens.
rid of that trick. I put it on some magician's website, man. And I put a low price, and somebody bought it, and I couldn't get it in the mail it to them quick enough. I didn't want any part of that.
That is a classic story. Can I tell a story, Vinny? I want to know if you remember this.
Okay.
So we're real young. Rosie's starting to hit.
Yeah.
Rosie's starting to hit, and
On you?
no, in big in her career, and she actually asked me and Vinny. She had a show, some sort of a show out in Colorado.
Yes.
And Vinny, she
Crested Butte,
flew us
Colorado.
out to Crested Butte, Colorado, to be on a show with her. And we're on a plane. Vinny has, for some reason, a briefcase it's made out of metal, and it weighs a ton. And I remember, do you remember what you're pulling it out of the overhead, and it fell flat hard on this guy's head?
No.
Yeah.
And Vinny, I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Jesus.
I thought you were going to tell the other story.
The other story.
We were sitting in first class because it was the show, if you remember, was Peter Bales, me, Rosie O'Donnell, and who else, Peter? Susie Essman.
Susie Essman.
Oh, wow.
From Larry
Right.
David.
Right.
Yeah. She
And
was wonderful.
Peter and I had our condo together, and Susie and Rosie had their condo together. Want to take it from here?
Do I want to take it from here?
Do you remember on the plane when?
Yeah.
I can't even anticipate what's going to.
All right, we'll
say.
just tell it. We'll tell it.
You tell it.
All right. So anyway, Peter and I are literally across the aisle. We're in first class. Rosie and Susie are just in the other. Anyway, and we're just cruising along. We're kind of talking, him and I. And so Peter says to me, I think it was, who do you think, they're going to be together. They're staying together. And he says, who do you think is the guy? Right? Isn't that kind of what you were insinuating? Like, who's the, I guess, who's the pitcher? Who's the catcher? Is that the term? I don't know. And I'm, so I was just like, I don't know. So I had to ask Rosie something anyway. So I immediately take off my headset for whatever I was listening to. And I lean forward. I go, hey, Ray, Ro.
Hey, Ray.
I call her Ray. And he starts laughing. And she's like, what'd you say? What'd you say? What? What'd you call? I go, no, I was just, and then I asked, what's the order of the show tonight? I called her Ray because he just asked me who's going to be the guy.
Now that had to be a huge gig for all four of you flying to Colorado.
It was
First
a huge
class.
gig. Peter, you
round
realize
trip?
that was the first couple. I think it was the second year she did it, and it's snowballed, no pun intended, into that big because she got big celebrity. Then all the Demi Moores and everybody was coming to it, and they were doing these. It was a big event.
Was it like an Aspen or something like that, or
it was Crested Butte? I don't know. It was
it's Colorado skiing. It's amazing.
right?
Yeah,
right,
it was
right.
amazing, but it was all for a theater. It was in a theater. I think it was a fundraiser for something. But she then, when she got big, it continued because I remember seeing it on the news. Then now they had, I'm going, wow, I remember when we did we were on the first one or the second one.
Because Susie Essman is incredible, but Rosie was huge. I mean, as talented as Susie Essman was, she was never as well known as Rosie.
We
right?
had so much fun on.
That was
Susie
such a fun
was
trip.
so much fun, and Rosie was so much fun.
Yes.
It was great.
They're great.
That's great.
Wow.
Can we edit out the Ray part in case she watches this?
No. You know, the odds of things happening, you know, for years, and I don't know how I started it, but whenever we had a female guest on the Stern Show, they either referred to their boyfriend or their husband, and I'd always write the same note. And while they were talking, they say, "Oh yeah," and then my husband, and Howard would say, "White guy," and it was just always interesting to see the reaction of the girl, like, "Yeah," or "Yeah," or you know, it was always funny. But you know, and then we had this woman from Australia who was like Wonder Woman or one of those female TV stars.
Right.
And of course, we had no idea. And she had secretly gotten married to a black guy, and her family didn't even know. And she's sitting there and said, "Yeah, I recently got married." And Howard said, "White guy?" And she was like, "No!" Like she couldn't believe, like, how did he possibly know that? And it was like, after 15 years of the same running gag that was never even really funny, it was just so stupid. Oh, it was just classic.
So there was some innuendo there about Rosie and Susie Essman.
Exactly. And
You had to bring that back
You had
up.
to bring that. No, I'm a big fan of both of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I will, Vinny. I don't know when the last time you saw Rosie was, but I have I will always have a soft spot in my heart for her.
Yeah, no,
amazing talent, and
yeah,
yeah.
Hey, Petey.
Yeah.
Time to read the plugs.
Oh, I just got a did you hear that, Vinny, too?
Yes. Time to read the
okay. It's time to read the plugs.
I want to tell everybody that February 14th through February 21st on the Holland Cruise Lines. Holland America, New Stutterdam. It's me, Richie Minervini, and John Ferrantino are doing a Long Island reunion cruise going all around the different islands or whatever. So please sign up. I promised them I would plug it. So there we are. We're going to have lots of fun. And, you know, I like to break Ferrantino's balls. So the way I wanted to advertise this was Jackie Martling and Richie Minervini, but John Ferrantino, which is so funny. Go ahead, Peter.
That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a great cruise. People
should be fun.
I thought about even just going. I wanted to go as a passenger and just
heckling.
You heard about it?
Yes.
They are on the comedy cruise. I'm going to be in a dinghy on Lake Ronkonkoma at that time.
If the dinghy hasn't closed up by then.
Go ahead. We are on Strong Island Television, a wonderful podcasting network that is connected to right here, Paradise Studios, where we do our podcast. And hey, listen, everybody, you want to get into podcasting or have any audio or video needs, come here to Paradise Studios in Massapequa. They got studios, they got state-of-the-art everything.
Bobby does it all.
Bobby Lacera does it all. Paradise Studios,
top of the line.
Yep, Massapequa, Long Island, and he's got Long Island Podcasting School, hands-on media training in a real working studio. So, you know, if you're thinking maybe I should do a podcast, and Vinny, I don't know if you know this, the equipment here, you don't have to tape your phone onto the wall.
You mean they have real cameras and stuff?
They have real cameras and stuff.
The only thing he doesn't have here is a pole for the strippers, but I'm waiting to come in and see that.
He would get you one. But
you
Long
know I'm
Island,
from Massapequa, right? You realize you know that.
Yeah, you're a Massapequa guy.
Yeah.
And you're a Long Island guy at heart. You always will be. I know you're upstate.
Absolutely.
But anyway, Long Island Podcasting School, Paradise Studios, get in touch with them.
Yeah.
Come on,
they got everything.
And Vinny, throw a show up there so me and Bales can drive up there and have some fun.
We are going to, I was going to talk to you about it. Yeah, I actually have one sooner than later. It's October 24th. I don't know if we'll talk about it.
Let's do a booking actually on the podcast. That would be a first.
That would be a first. Like October 24th. I'm not sure if wait a minute.
Whatever that Saturday is. I don't have it. It's 24th or whatever the Saturday is.
I think that cruise is my next gig. No, actually, Soul Joel's in Pottstown, Pennsylvania, which sounds so hokey, but it is one of the great places. Have you ever worked at? It's just there's no reason for it to be that great a club. You know, that club is attached to this huge wooden dance floor that's immense. And they used to have all the great bands like, Guy Lombardo and
Yes.
all those characters. And
Yeah, he does a good job. I did his King of Prussia in the casino. He had a casino.
Yeah. He's a good character. Joel.
Yeah.
Soul Joel.
Soul Joel.
So, how does how did the two of you bill yourself? What is the name
It's called the quickest thinkers in comedy, Baker and Mark.
The quickest thinkers in comedy, Baker and Mark.
That's a mouthful.
Shouldn't it
Yeah.
just be Baker and Mark and then
Well, it is Baker and Mark, and then the name of the show is the quickest thinkers in comedy.
the quickest thinkers in comedy?
Yep.
And
You could have a lot of fun introducing that.
Yo, you're dead on right, Jack. You guys have gone. And now let's the social hosts or whatever at the result. Let's hear it for the fastest laughers in the show.
Stinkers.
Yeah, the quickest. I go. But yeah,
My favorite introduction ever. There was a very funny guy from Philadelphia with the bow tie, Grant. Garson, whatever his name was. But he was hosting at Chuckles, and I just met him, and he said, and I was headlining. He said, "What do you want me to say about you?" And I said, "Tell him that I'm Jackie the Joke Man, and I have the biggest cock on the East Coast." And he said, "Okay." And he walked up without even blinking and said, "And now here's Jackie Martling, who has the biggest cock that anybody ever told me they had." I was like, "Wow!" And what's his name? Grant, Garson.
If you hadn't missed the name, I would have gotten it. Grover Silcox. Grover Silcox. Very funny man.
Big Daddy Graham.
Wow, Big Daddy Graham. I think he's still around.
No, he's passed away.
Did he? But he's probably still doing shows.
So listen, I got Grover Silcox. Grover Silcox.
Yes.
He's a Philly comic, very funny.
Oh.
I work with him. And back in the very, very early days of motels that had porn available on the TV, did I tell you that? He discovered that you had to watch like 2 minutes of it before they would charge you. All right. So what he would do is watch 1 minute and 50 seconds, change the channel, and then change the channel back immediately and not get charged. Okay. And that was working for him at the motels he'd stay at. Then this one motel we're at, he's having a big argument at the front desk because they gave him a bill. Apparently it didn't work anymore. He got a porn bill for $400. It didn't work anymore.
The loophole was figured out. Right?
Some of those motels had it where it'd be on for a second, but then it would go to that squiggly, but guys would watch it anyway, and you couldn't make out what you were looking at. No, but I mean, you could get really horny, but you had to go like this. All right, we got to go. All right,
Vinnie Mark.
Hey,
we will talk to you, Vinny.
You are so funny and such a great guy, and we got to do this again, young man.
Absolutely, yes, we do. But I'll be in touch. Would love to have you guys up here.
You're the best.
Would love to do that.
Vinnie Mark and his life is yes and.
Yes and.
That's Vinnie Mark.
Great.
In the world of magic.
Thanks, Jackie. Woo. Thanks, Peter. I love and
All
miss
right.
you guys.
This has been Stand Up Memories. Thank you, Vinnie Mark. Thank you, Jackie the Joke Man.
Thank you, Peter Bales. Email me jokeland@aol.com and